All right. Welcome everybody to the weekly business meeting. It's April 16th, 2015. Um, get go through everything pretty quick, I think. Um, let's start with Brian with the finances.
All right. Uh, I'm speculating a couple things real quick. We had uh, two people come in with founders levels dues. One was paying for it last month and this month in cash. Um, we had a Nathan came in earlier today with founders levels, and I paid today. So currently, what we have across our accounts is $510.52 in checking, 115.64 in our PayPal, and I have a I still have cash of $100. So our total balance is $726.16.
All right.
We have uh, bills coming out next week. Rent will be due. That'll be $400, and then we have internet, which is $45. So that will leave us with 281.16 as of right now.
All right. And that's with Rick's $400 donation.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that includes his donation.
All right. Um, for some reason on the website, I'm getting a 404 when I'm looking at the trying to look at the agenda for the meeting. But really, I mean, the big thing obviously is this Saturday we're doing our member appreciation uh, day, and that's going to be from 10 to 2, correct?
11 to 2.
11 to 2. Okay.
So far, we've had five or six people outside of the group say they were coming.
Cool.
So I know four from Lisa Brazelton, and then like Rich and a couple others.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
Um, well, I guess on Saturday. I'll go by Little Caesars and pick up some of their pizzas to bring down. Um, I was going to get 4 pizzas. That should cover us, I would think, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think, and if we need more, we can always run out and grab.
Yeah. Does anybody have preferences as far as pizzas and stuff? I was going to grab like a cheese, a pepperoni, um, maybe I don't know what whatever their sort of um, $5 things or whatever that it is that you can pick up from them. Does anybody have anything they absolutely don't want on a pizza?
Just so long as you get one cheese, then I think we got everybody covered.
No, I'll probably do 2 cheese and then like 2 pepperoni, and that should probably cover everybody, I would think. Dana, do you want to talk a little bit about the 3D printer workshop, how all that stuff went?
It went fine. Uh, People, I guess, laptops weren't really necessarily up to snuff for running Tinkercad,
Mm-hmm.
which was a little
Wow.
shocking. Uh, but five people in the room, that's it was elbows and butts, but it was doable fine. Doing a little presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't do any more in that. Um, Everybody that came was people that had been to things before, so it's repeat people. We'll get, I think, like $40 or so clear in a couple days or a week or so.
Cool.
We do have um, we had people sign up on the waiting list as well, so should be able to get another one. Probably do another one next month or try to make it a monthly kind of thing.
Okay. Excellent. Um, from the did you use the MakerBot at all, or did you stick with the Ultimaker?
No, we used both.
Did the MakerBot perform all right?
Yeah, it seemed fine. I just
Okay.
remembered something though. He said that the default bed temp was set to 130 for
Ooh.
some god awful reason.
That was probably left over from winter.
Yeah. Well, I just remember that, so I was gonna change it before.
Yeah, we definitely need to knock that back down to like 110 or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think 110 is the thing. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. I didn't really fool with it. It does. We talked the night that it probably needs to be leveled. That first line's really goofy, squish.
Yeah.
The bed heated. There weren't any problems.
No sparks.
I can't smell anything, so.
Well, good. Yeah, just for Rick and Brian, I went ahead and soldered the cable up and everything. Chopped off the end of the plastic Molex connector so that we were able to get the bed working and everything. I wasn't able to find. I didn't have any Dean's connectors that would be big enough, so I went ahead and just soldered it straight to the pins. But I really, unless we run into more issues with that cable, I don't see us really removing that cable anytime soon. Trying to think of in case anybody's not aware, I went ahead and got a security system for the space and began installing it this Monday. I only installed just sort of one camera up in the front office area, and did just a temporary setup on the bench there in the front area so that Jeff could get a look. I need to get with Jeff and figure out where we want to actually house the unit. I'd really like to try and put it in that front area where all the the padlock is and everything, for a couple of reasons, mainly for access, as well as just reducing the complexity and the length of the runs that we would need to do to get all the cameras working. But the system seems to be working great. It's got 8 cameras total, 4 interior and 4 exterior cameras. So that should be pretty easy to install. It comes with all the power and cable we need and everything. So seems to be working pretty well. Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to talk about today? I'm sorry, I can't see the agenda, so I don't remember if there was anything that we were supposed to be addressing.
Not that I can think of.
I think the only other thing was Monday we have that's the game night.
Yes, I will be there, obviously. Is anybody else going to be there?
I didn't plan on it, but I can leave. I was planning on leaving my the console up there.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be fun to play around with that.
And I just want to figure out. I don't know. I'd kind of like to leave it up at the space.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand if we don't want it there to take up room. But at the same time, I also want some more stuff cleared out.
Yeah. No, I think there's definitely one thing that we should maybe do, get together a little bit before we sort of kick off everything for the member appreciation thing, is sort of maybe talk about. I think Rick's having some mic problems. Is maybe talk about what we want to maybe sort of pick to get moved out out of the some of the under shelf space and stuff like that. But no, I think if you're willing to leave it up there, Dana, I think that would be a fantastic addition just because it's something that everybody can use. We're going to be using it, every game night for sure. And on art walks and stuff like that, it'd be really cool to have something set up that people can sit down and play. And it's one of those sort of it's really catchy. It'll make people interested to talk about it and stuff like that. So
You flip it over and you tell them it's a $35 computer.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Boom.
And we can help them build one if they want. Rick, was there anything that you wanted to discuss? Let me see. Open up the chat here. See what he's got. Email went out. Oh yes. The email for the membership went out. I'm sure everybody saw that. That would be sort of a reminder to get paid or to pay your dues and stuff like that. Got some responses, some new interest from some new people. Yeah, I actually had quite a few people. I took a stack of the stuff for the hackathon up to the space and or up to so took a bunch of those flyers up to the hackathon and handed them off to the RSI people, and they handed them out to everybody, all the programmers and everybody that was there as they walked out. And I had quite a few people, about 2 or 3 people, hang around after the event wanting to talk, find out more about the space. We have one guy who's actually doing, I guess, a master thesis on, or doing at least a research project on the security of 3D printers. So he may stop by and talk to somebody. I told him the nights that I would be there. But he's interested in, man-in-the-middle attacks and what you could do with to mess up 3D printers, I guess. Sounded kind of interesting. And he's got a little tiny printer bot at home, and he's interested in getting to look at the MakerBot and talk to us about that. So that'll be pretty cool. Rick's asking about how was the hackathon. The hackathon went really, really well. Some of the entries, I mean, you could tell it was the first one that they've ever done here in Mobile. The teams were not very experienced, so there was definitely sort of a beginner, some issues with getting their projects up and off the ground in a short period of time. So they were given 4 hours, and they were supposed to create a mobile app, or at least a mobile compatible website that would deliver event news and stuff. And a couple of teams did some pretty neat things. They integrated Spotify so that all the artists that were there, they had a channel set up that would basically, they ran a widget for Spotify. I think the biggest thing was that almost every team started out from scratch. I was really surprised nobody leveraged a framework like WordPress or Joomla or Drupal or something like that. Everybody sort of did just Bootstrap and just straight HTML.
Were they allowed to use something like?
Yeah, I asked
WordPress?
about that. Yeah, I asked about that, and there was no, because I was kind of surprised that nobody had done it. So I asked if that just wasn't allowed, and no, there was no rule against it. I think it was just sort of that, when you're in college and you tend to want to sort of create everything yourself and stuff like that, which some of the teams did a pretty good job in such a short period of time. But all of them struggled with meeting the deadline, and a couple of them. One of the teams, it was like one of those sort of last minute, made an adjustment, and then everything, sort of fell apart on them. So they lost all their CSS at the very last minute, so their site looked a little funky. But all the teams were really, really cool cool guys, and hopefully we'll see some of them coming by the space. Did anybody else have? How did I was there a little bit for Art Walk. I know the weather was pretty god awful. Did any other people really stop by the space at all?
I think you saw all of the people that came
All
out of
right.
space.
So the group of people that weren't really sure if we were the place that they wanted to come.
Yeah, that was. I think I don't know.
Yeah, well, hopefully the weather will be a lot better on the next one. I mean, the attendance was down tremendously everywhere I went, and I think the majority of that was because of the let's see. Yeah, Rick was saying he ran into a bunch of the weather coming from Tampa to Mobile. And that was the main thing. I think that across the board, all the events were kind of the attendance was a little low because I think a lot of people really assumed that it was going to rain really hard, and unfortunately, I think it kind of put a damper on South Sounds a little bit.
One of the things next year we need to be in on the that engaging the next generation.
Yeah.
Try to find out how to get more in with those other networks.
Yeah, I think next year as we get close, I mean, it really is just a matter probably of talking to Emily Hayes. She's the person who really she's one of the founders of South Sounds. Really great person. She'd be more than happy to get us hooked up and stuff like that. Rick's saying, yeah, the Tuesday night was a bust as well. Jeff was there with me. No one else showed up. So,
yeah, Wednesday was just myself and Josh came by for a little bit.
Yeah, Monday was pretty dead as well. So.
One of the things I'd like to see is that if we can get some more photos and stuff, like when you guys are there, to at least if you can try to post something, hey, just that shows that somebody is here.
Yeah. I took a bunch of pictures of me soldering the printer and putting it all back together. I meant to post those, but I ran out of time because I was trying to clean up the space and everything before I left because I had torn apart quite a bit of stuff that Monday night. So
if you guys don't care, I could just post something that late in that afternoon, like, oh yeah, one of the things I guess I noticed at Delta Bike Project, they always post something the day of or like a couple hours beforehand.
Yeah.
At least to say a reminder that we're open, we're here. If y'all want, I can do that. I don't want to, unless there's some reason not to assume that you'll be there. I could just put them out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that would be a good idea, but I do also think, you post a lot, and it definitely would be good, sort of just if you're the person who's responsible for opening the space that night, it's probably a good idea that we sort of just make that part of the workflow of just sort of like, hey, I'm going to be at the space, and post some pictures of kind of stuff that you're working on and stuff like that, just to make sure that the activity is getting recorded and makes it reflects that on our Facebook and Google Plus and all that.
I have seen more activity. Rick has posted stuff, and I know you have too. And Brian has been posting, at least sharing and liking stuff, and we are getting more hits on stories, and we're getting more a little higher engagement now. Doesn't
Cool.
Really turn into anybody showing up, but hey, it's
yeah. No, that's good to hear though.
It's up and to the right.
Yeah. So
Brian, I plagiarized your post and posted it on our webpage.
No problem.
As webmaster, you should be able to, you can post some little clips there. You do good at summarizing stuff. Much better than I do.
Oh, along those lines, did we get the recurring buttons figured out?
I believe so. Actually, Dana, I emailed files to you
Okay.
a little while ago, so hopefully that will look a little better. If not, just let me know and I'll circle back around to it
Okay.
tomorrow.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, we should be able to get that done tonight then, or I should be able to do it.
Cool. All right. Did anybody else have anything?
Wiki page. Brian, can we go down that path again?
Sure.
Bring up. You had installed it before, and I had you uninstall it. We could just redo it, and I have time to admin it, and I think I could reach out to like Red Mountain to see how theirs is configured.
Okay.
What are we trying to do with the wiki page?
Some different things. One is like the tools and things that we have in there, so so we can keep up with that stuff. Like when things are going on, like the tools down. I think it would be a good place to post stuff about what are the tools in the shop. And
It's a good
so
idea.
members can post that, and we need to put up stuff about what I don't know, what kind of projects and things are going on.
Yeah, no, and Rick's posting as well that tools and documentation. So that would be a really good thing to have in terms of being able for people to being able to look up sort of how to use things and what the status of the tools are.
Yeah, so if you have like settings and stuff, like, hey, okay, here's the stuff to get for the laser cutter. Here's the stuff for the 3D printer, and here's the settings that we use.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, and here are the kind of tools in here. There's a jigsaw. There's a this. There's a table saw.
Yeah,
Just that kind of stuff recorded. And
that would be a good idea. All right. Is there anything else? All right. Well, I look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday. Can't wait to see what the turnout's going to be like and eat some pizza. So, I will see you guys all on Saturday.
all right, man.
All right, man. Have a good day.
That's it.
Peace.